Unfortunately, guys, I screwed up. You know, I set out to do this plate of truth test, this exposure test for these new CLPs, all these cool products, and I made the mistake of waiting way too long to check on these plates. I figured, oh, I'll be good for a week, you know, no big deal. Well, it turns out I should have been monitoring them every single day, and I screwed up. So what we're gonna do is analyze the results of this, salvage a little bit of information, and if you guys want to see me redo this, let me know. So without further BS, let's take a look at these plates and see what actually happened. Okay, so as you can see, the test results are going to be a little bit skewed because I let this go too long. I left it outside, I didn't check on it, there was no progress as the days progressed, and that's going to really kind of screw up what I was trying to accomplish here. However, there is still a lot of very good information that we can pull from this. We can look at this from a long-term storage point of view, or we can just look at it from what held up the best to the elements. I mean, that's quite simple. So let's analyze this plate. The control, as you can see, had a fair amount of rust, a little bit on my fingertips there. I can feel that that's very deep, that's in there. And this seems to be more surface rust up here on the Ballistol and RemOil. Now, I think the Ballistol fared just a hair better than the RemOil, but both of them are pretty terrible here. The Case Lube, the Hornady one-shot, did not do well either over a long period. Now, the interesting things are right here on this end. This is the WeaponShield grease area, this one down here, and then we've got the alpha grease up top. Now, this alpha grease is impressive. There are little specks throughout that, but that's what I would call rust-free in this experiment. That was outside for 1 week in the rain, the humidity, everything, and that's still good to go. That surprised me. I was not expecting that to happen. And that's the same thickness of a coating that I put on this WeaponShield section, but this is a little bit different material, so it held up. Now, the WeaponShield did really well considering what we have going on here, but you know, there is still some rust, and I would definitely go with the alpha grease. In fact, I'm not going to use this WeaponShield grease on the Deagle anymore. I'm going to switch to this simply because that gun doesn't get shot a lot, and I want something that's going to hold up and be there when I need it. So we got a little bit of information from this plate. Let's switch to the other plate and see what's going on over there. Now, there are some really interesting results on this plate here, and we'll get into it in a second, but again, I want to restate that I screwed up here. I should have been checking this every 24 hours instead of every week, and these products are not designed to last this long. It was simply my mistake. So let's get into the different sections here. We'll start with the TechShield Elite. Now, again, this is mostly surface rust, but I find it very interesting how it kind of spread out as opposed to being speckled like some of these other sections. It's more of an even layer of rust. I think that's really weird. But I do like this as a lubricant, like I said in the review video. It's just kind of a strange result on this plate here. I don't think there's much more to take out of it than that. Now, the Slip 2000, this got this really weird black kind of going across here, this dark color, and I'm not sure why that happened. As you can see, as I rub it with my finger, I don't know what happened there, but that's really weird. It's not dirt. I mean, it was sitting up off of the ground, you know, far enough away from any elements as far as like grass and things like that. It wasn't sitting in the grass, and it got really dark for some reason. It's not really what we would call standard rust, but that's pretty gross. Moving to this section here, the WeaponShield stuff did okay in comparison to these two. I mean, this section here is a little bit better, but again, some weird patterning. Again, probably just from sitting out in the rain too damn long. I think that's kind of a wash. The ones we want to concentrate on are these three right here. These actually show some good bare metal still. I was actually pleasantly surprised to see some speckling and some bare metal here, and that shows me that that stuff held up over time in comparison to the rest of these, and that's pretty cool. Now, the two shining stars on this plate are going to be the FrogLube and the FireClean, and the FireClean did the best in this abusive test. That's the best. Let's talk about the FrogLube here. Obviously around the edges, we've got some rust from the water kind of puddling up because it did rain. This fared very, very well in a long-term test, and I think that would do awesome on a gun that's stored indoors, because as far as I know, nobody out there is really storing their guns in the rain except Amish people. So that's good. I'm really happy with the results for the FrogLube. However, when we jump up here to the FireClean, we've got much more bare metal, much better rust prevention in this ridiculous abusive test, and that's what I would call the winner in the CLP territory. Now, the grease, the alpha grease did really, really well, but as far as a cleaner CLP, the FireClean is what I'm going to call the winner in this test. So here they all are. Right in front of you, you can see the results. Again, I'm going to state this for like a 5th time here. This test was screwed up by myself, and the results are not conclusive in any way. However, in this abusive test, this exposure to the elements, 1 week, extreme, heat, rain, moisture, humidity, prolonged exposure to the elements, the alpha grease and the FireClean CLP fared the best in my opinion. Now, if you guys want to see me do this and monitor it properly and not screw it up, I need to know. I'm not going to go through and do all this work unless you guys want to see it. These plates, unfortunately, are not salvageable. I can't go through and scrape off all this rust, so I'm going to have to start fresh. So if you guys want to see that, leave a comment down below and I will try to get to that as soon as I possibly can. So unfortunately, it didn't go the way we wanted it to. The test got screwed up, but that's okay. We still learned some interesting information, and I think there's some positivity to be pulled out of this, and that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. So if you enjoyed it, guys, hit that thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and if you want to support what I do, head over to patreon.com/I'mWithChaos and see just how you can do that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.